Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you my little recipe adaptation to the Trim Healthy Mama Krabby Patties. I'm going to show how I mix them up for my family, how I add some extra special goodies to make them super healthy, and it's a Trim Healthy Mama inspired recipe that not only I can eat, but my whole family can eat as well. I get lots of questions on how to feed a whole family the Trim Healthy Mama way, so this is one of the ways that I do it. And of course, baby Daniel Cam, hey, he's hanging out in his Moby wrap. So stay tuned so you don't miss me jamming in as many green peppers as humanly possible. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to use the recipe that Trim Healthy Mama has for, they call it SpongeBob's Krabby Patties for a large family, and it is found on page 338. I'm going to adapt it, add to it just a little bit, and make it big enough to feed my crew so that we also have some leftovers. And I just call these tuna cakes. So they are definitely inspired, though, from this lovely Trim Healthy Mama book. Now, their recipe says it feeds a large family, and as you can see, step number 1 calls for 2 to 3 cans of wild salmon. Of course, I'm using regular old tuna because I don't have any cans of salmon around, and I use the equivalent of about 11 cans of tuna. That's how much I'm making. I've added to the book here a 66-ounce can equals 11 regular cans, and I also use 11 eggs and 2 cups of oatmeal. Now in their recipe here, they have 2 to 3 eggs for every can. Sorry, baby Daniel's bumping into my camera here, jerking my hand around a little bit. And they also say that you can use oatmeal for it. So we're going to do the Jamerrill version for a big herd. Oh, let's see, baby Daniel, can I get you in the camera? Oh, you're going to fuss. Okay, not going to work. So for these tuna cakes, I have one 66-ounce can of tuna. Again, in the Trim Healthy Mama book, these are more salmon cakes, but I got a big can of tuna, so that's what I'm working with. They call for 2 to 3 cans of wild salmon, they call for 2 to 3 eggs, 1 for each can. So this is the equivalent of 11 cans of tuna. So I have a bowl of 11 eggs, and then I'm also going to use 2 cups of oatmeal. I'll mix in a little salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, those kind of things I have on hand. And I always find myself trying to just put milled flax into anything I possibly can. So I'm going to sneak a little bit of that into my recipe too. We're going to mix it all up, make actual patties like I was doing hamburger patties, and I will cook them in coconut oil on the stove. And then we are having tuna cakes for dinner tonight. The kids are going to have flax seed rolls that I got 2 for $1. Yes, Gaby, you can. Come and get it. Gaby's going to get a banana. Come on in. They're having milled flax rolls with their dinner, and I will probably have some broccoli and the tuna cakes. Of course, adapting it for the kids, they're probably going to put ketchup all over their tuna cakes, and I'm having them plain with nothing else on them. I say I'm having them plain. I may very well mix myself up a little homemade sauce with some mayonnaise and something else on there. Oh, and also just a little sneak into how I manage my Trim Healthy Mama from day to day. You'll see that I have just a little notebook, and I write my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I write whether it's an S meal. Today I've had S meals so far. I had coffee and an egg and cheese and veggie omelet for breakfast. I had 1 slice of Ezekiel bread with butter, so that would be an S helper meal. For lunch, I had chicken and broccoli, and then I've been snacking on these strawberries over here. And then for dinner, I'm planning on having more tuna cakes and broccoli. And when my husband and I get back from teaching Financial Peace University tonight, I will probably make myself a yummy chocolate muffin in a mug and have that with some berries on it too. I'm dumping in my 66-ounce can of tuna. Make enough for my family for dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow.
Mommy,
And then, yes, honey?
my kite is stuck on here. Can you get it off for me?
I'll come help you in a few minutes.
Tangled up.
Okay. Baby's kite is tangled up. So anyway, this will be enough for dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'm working during the day, so my husband will be in charge of dinner, so they may just be choosing from leftovers, unless he does a breakfast for dinner thing, which he does that too. So we'll definitely have enough tuna cakes for 2 meals, maybe 3, most likely just 2. And it's very similar to making little mini meatloafs, only you're doing it with tuna. So I got my 11 eggs in there, my 66 ounces of tuna, my goodness. Can you get in the bowl there, Jaden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm going to put in 2 cups of oatmeal. And another thing that I do in my own adaptation is I always try to fit as many vegetables into items like this that I make. I do this also with turkey burgers. And if I have avocados, I'll even put avocados in there. Just any kind of vegetables I can get in. That also. And now I'm also going to put in just a little bit of milk flax because it's something else that's good for us. And I will use about 1/4 of a cup. There we go. So these are very healthy tuna cakes. So far we have tuna, eggs, oatmeal, green peppers, and a little bit of milk flax. I'm going to cook them in coconut oil. Also, I have water that's hopefully going to boil soon, and I'm going to do the family a nice pot of brown rice. Now, for myself, I could have a little bit of brown rice, and that would make it an S helper meal for those doing Trim Healthy Mama, because it has a little higher carbs for the S meals. And I need to put a little bit of salt and pepper in here too. So now that my tuna cakes are all mixed up here in my big metal bowl, I'm going to get my coconut oil going in the cast iron, and then we'll get our hands dirty. See over here, this is the kind of coconut oil I've been using. It's Carrington Farms coconut oil, and I get this big 54-ounce container of it at Costco for under $17. So this is great for making the Trim Healthy Mama skinny chocolate recipe and a lot of other things. Lots of wonderful, beautiful uses for coconut oil. So I'm going to actually use my pancake griddle here, and then my big cast iron pan, and this is the lid from a cast iron Dutch oven that I have. So I'm going to get those going. So here's the messy part. But mamas don't mind getting messy, especially mamas with lots of boys. Sometimes I laugh when I realize, hey, I have 5 boys. That's a lot of boys. So I'm going to just make the little patties. And yes, they won't stay together exactly perfect with the green peppers. So I just give them some extra squishing. Of course, I got excited and made that one a little too big. You can tell, big family, big tuna cakes. Just the way the Stewarts roll. Let's see if I could make a perfect little standard patty. I don't know. Could I? Can I do it? Maybe. Seems so small though. These going in the cast iron. And you'll see when I go through and do meatloaf and some other recipes, it's very similar. My cooking secret is I try to just keep everything as absolutely as simple as possible, because life and food and cooking and family and all of that gets very complicated on its own. So remember, the tuna cake making lady said, keep it simple, sweetie. Alright, so I've got about 7 going there. And that's my water working on the rice. So here's an update on how the tuna cakes are coming along. These are the 4 that are in the big cast iron, and I've flipped them once so far. And I will probably flip them one more time and they'll be ready to go. The tuna cakes are starting to come off the stove, so here's our first plate full, and I have the second batch cooking. These took about 10 minutes, and I flipped them twice. So here's an example of how our tuna cakes turned out. Hey, Miss Amelia. For the kids, how I can adapt this meal for them is they have tuna cakes with some brown rice and ketchup. And then my Trim Healthy Mama approved, and my hairy husband arm, I've got my tuna cake and my broccoli. And there's the rice for the family. There's Naomi's plate. And there's for Jaden and Zion, they just have more rice, more tuna cake, and a Minecraft book. So this is how I make tuna cakes for my family that are Trim Healthy Mama approved. Go ahead and leave me any questions in the comments, any tips, any kind of Trim Healthy Mama recipes you love also.